Have you ever walked into a home and without anyone saying a word, felt the weight of discomfort settle on your shoulders? Maybe it was the way the room fell quiet when you entered, or how the smiles didn't quite reach the eyes. Perhaps you sensed the tension in the air like an unspoken message you don't belong here. As we age, we begin to value peace more than appearances, sincerity, more than social obligations. We learn sometimes the hard way that not every place is good for the heart, and not every door that opens should be walked through. In today's video, we're going to uncover 7 types of homes you should avoid visiting in your later years. These are the places that subtly or not so subtly steal your joy, drain your energy, and leave you questioning your worth. These are the spaces that instead of nurturing you, pull you into discomfort, drama, or even quiet resentment. And here's the truth: protecting your peace is just as important as protecting your health. The older we grow, the more sacred our time becomes. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these homes, you'll feel empowered to walk away from them without guilt. You'll be reminded that your time, energy, and presence are valuable, and not everyone deserves access to them. But before we begin, if this message already resonates with you, I'd be grateful if you gave this video a like. It helps me reach more people who need these reminders. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on the bell so you never miss a new video. If you're with me and finding value in this, drop a comment below. Type 1 if you're enjoying the content, or 0 if you feel it could be better. Your feedback truly helps shape what comes next. All right, let's begin. There's a unique kind of sadness that comes from visiting a home, where your presence feels more like an obligation than a joy. It might be subtle, but it's unmistakable. The forced smile at the door, the quick half-hearted hug, the way they glance at the clock more than they look at you. You speak, but they barely respond. You share, but they don't listen. You feel like a guest in a place that's supposed to feel warm, and instead it's cold. And here's the truth: your time is too precious and your presence too meaningful to be spent in places where you're barely acknowledged. As we grow older, we begin to see relationships with clearer eyes. We realize that genuine warmth can't be faked and true connection can't be forced. If every visit leaves you feeling like you were tolerated, not celebrated, it's time to pay attention to that feeling. A healthy home is one where you are received with open arms and open hearts. It's where someone meets you at the door with genuine joy, listens to your stories with interest, and makes you feel seen. You don't have to prove your worth in that space, you simply belong. You deserve to be around people who are happy to have you, not just polite enough to let you in. If you leave a place feeling heavier than when you arrived, take that as a sign. Your energy deserves better. Some homes, unfortunately, are not sanctuaries, they are battlegrounds. Chaos, conflict, and constant complaints seem to hang in the air like heavy smoke. These are the homes where tension is the soundtrack and negativity is the language spoken most fluently. You walk in and immediately feel unsettled. Raised voices echo down hallways. Conversations are loaded with sarcasm, passive-aggressive remarks, or complaints about anything and everything. Gratitude is scarce. Gossip takes center stage, and peace nowhere to be found. Spending time in such an environment is more than just unpleasant, it's damaging. You may find yourself emotionally drained, mentally foggy, and even carrying stress that doesn't belong to you. These homes thrive on cycles of unnecessary conflict, small disagreements that erupt into large arguments or subtle remarks that pierce deeper than they should. And the worst part, the drama isn't yours, but it becomes your burden anyway. As you move through your later years, your peace should be sacred. It's not selfish to protect it, it's wise. You've earned the right to surround yourself with calm kindness and sincerity. You don't have to entertain someone else's chaos just to be polite. You don't need to endure environments that feel like emotional minefields. Choose homes that feel light, that lift your spirit, that invite you to breathe deeper and smile more. The older we get, the more we realize joy is a choice, and so is walking away from places that rob us of it. Then there's the kind of home where you're welcomed, yes, but only when it's convenient. You receive an invite when there's something they need: a babysitter, a helping hand, a loan, an errand. But when it's you who needs company support, or just a kind conversation, they're suddenly busy or nowhere to be found. Sound familiar? This is a dangerous trap because on the surface it can look like closeness. They might call you family, say all the right things, and thank you for helping out. But deep down, you begin to feel it. You're not truly seen. You're not genuinely valued. You're just useful. This kind of relationship is a one-way street. You give, they take. You show up, they disappear. When you need a favor, there's silence. But when they're in need, your phone rings. And here's the truth, your kindness should never come at the cost of your dignity. It's beautiful to be generous. It's powerful to help others. But love, care, and support should never feel like a transaction. They should be reciprocal. Healthy relationships, whether with friends, relatives, or neighbors, are built on mutual respect, not silent expectations. So ask yourself, when you visit this home, do you feel appreciated or do you feel used? If your presence is only acknowledged when your hands are full and ignored when your heart is empty, it may be time to draw boundaries. You deserve to be loved for who you are, not just for what you do. Give your time to those who value you, who show up for you not just when it's convenient. Because your presence isn't a favor, it's a gift. If you're still with me and these reflections are resonating with you, comment 1 below to let me know. You're still here, still watching, still growing with me on this journey. Your presence here matters. And now let's move on to the next chapter, because the fourth home on this list may be the most deceiving of all. Have you ever arrived at someone's doorstep and immediately sensed their reluctance, like your visit was an obligation they couldn't avoid? Maybe it's the subtle way their smile fades the moment they open the door, the tension in their shoulders as they usher you in, or how they check the clock just a bit too often, eyes flicking toward the hallway, silently wishing the time would pass more quickly. Their words may be polite, but their energy tells a different story. They respond in short, distracted phrases. They nod without truly listening. And instead of feeling embraced, you feel like a task to be completed. A responsibility, not a guest. Let's be clear, no one should ever feel like a burden in someone else's space. A true home radiates warmth. It welcomes you with ease, not reluctance. And most importantly, it values your presence, not just your time. If you repeatedly find yourself in homes where you're made to feel like a chore rather than a blessing, it's time to ask yourself, why do I keep going back? Respect yourself enough to walk away from environments where your presence feels like a favor someone is grudgingly granting. You are not a burden. You are a human being worthy of warmth, connection, and sincere welcome. Let go of the idea that you must earn someone's time. You deserve to be in spaces where you are cherished, not simply tolerated. Respect isn't optional, it's a fundamental need, especially as we age and accumulate a lifetime of experience, knowledge, and quiet wisdom. Yet not every home recognizes this. Some are filled with people who cut you off mid-sentence as if your thoughts hold no value. Others dismiss your advice with a condescending laugh or treat your memories like irrelevant stories from a forgotten time. It might be subtle, a raised eyebrow when you speak, a sigh when you take a moment to express yourself, a roll of the eyes when you offer insight. And in some cases, it's not subtle at all, rude comments, impatient tones, or outright exclusion from meaningful family discussions. Let's make this clear. Disrespect is ever acceptable. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your experiences are rich with lessons. And your presence at any age should be met with kindness, patience, and appreciation. If someone continuously makes you feel small, ignored, or like an inconvenience, it's time to distance yourself. Love should never come with cruelty, and family ties do not excuse poor treatment. Seek spaces where your stories are welcomed, where your wisdom is honored. Surround yourself with people who listen not out of obligation, but because they genuinely care. You deserve that. We all do. Sometimes a home doesn't have to be loud or chaotic to feel deeply wrong. Sometimes it's the silence that's heavy, the unspoken tension, the energy that lingers in the air like a storm that never quite passes. Have you ever entered a home and instantly felt anxious without anyone even saying a word? These are the homes where your spirit begins to shrink, where you feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly adjusting yourself to avoid triggering someone's mood or stepping into emotional landmines. It's not always yelling or visible anger. Sometimes it's the criticism masked as jokes, the passive-aggressive remarks, the tight smiles that don't hide the resentment, or the feeling that you're never fully safe to be yourself. Your mental health matters deeply, and no environment, no matter how familiar, should rob you of your inner peace. If a home consistently makes you feel anxious, drained, or deeply unsettled, it's not a place that's healthy for you. And you are not obligated to remain in spaces that deplete your joy just to keep the peace. Protecting your emotional well-being Means choosing environments that replenish you, not environments that slowly wear you down. You have the right to walk away, to choose peace over proximity, to choose healing over history. As we age, something remarkable happens. We begin to shift not just in how we look, but in how we think, feel, and live. The things that once thrilled us begin to fade, and we start craving depth, stillness, meaning. We want conversations that touch the soul, moments that feel real, connections that nourish rather than drain. But not everyone evolves with us. Some people stay rooted in old patterns, chasing chaos, clinging to superficial pursuits, stuck in cycles that offer no growth. And while you may have once found comfort in those environments, you now feel like a stranger in a space you used to call home. It's okay. You're not wrong for outgrowing people, places, or even traditions. In fact, that growth is a sign of deep personal evolution. If a home, whether physical or emotional, no longer aligns with the person you've become, give yourself permission to step back. You don't have to explain or apologize. You're allowed to create distance from anything that no longer serves your highest self. A true home should be a sanctuary, a place that reflects the values you hold now, not the ones you've left behind. Choose to invest your time in spaces that support your journey, not ones that fight against it. As we grow older, we come to understand a quiet, life-changing truth. Not every space deserves our presence. Not every home deserves our footsteps. And not every relationship is worth holding on to just because it once mattered. You are not difficult for setting boundaries. You are not unkind for choosing peace. You are simply wise enough to know that your time, your energy, and your heart are sacred and not to be wasted on places that dim your light. If you're still watching and these words have resonated with you, please comment below to let me know you're still here, still reflecting, still growing. And if this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who may need it, and make sure to subscribe for more gentle, empowering conversations just like this one. Thank you for your valuable time. Wherever you choose to go next, may it be filled with warmth, love, and spaces that truly feel like home.